Today I'm going to discuss fear of failure. Kind of ties in, as always, to yesterday's video. And I talked about competitive players not engaging or reacting well to a high-pressured practice design that I set up. And if you want to know more about that, check out yesterday's video. And it's a common question I get quite a lot in my inbox on Instagram, at My Tennis Coaching. How do you deal with players who are just not competitive? When the moments get tight in a match, they back off the ball, they're afraid to take risks. And in the past, I've always talked about, okay, it's got to be brave, got to be confident, got to be courageous. Now I look more about, okay, what's the environment in and around the player? First person I look at is me, the coach. And that might sound quite crazy because if the player is scared of making mistakes, especially if I'm present, if I'm there, it might be me. And by that I mean, well, if the player misses and I jump in and I give them a solution, or if I highlight what they did wrong, that puts a lot of judgment on the player. And I don't know anyone in the world who likes being judged. And that has a huge impact on the player. And again, I say this a lot on coach education. The way we act as coaches and the words we use have a huge impact on the player's behaviour. So if a player feels they can't make mistakes without being told that they're not good or they need to improve something, or they're told that, okay, that's what needs to be better, then obviously they're going to have a fear of failure, especially if I'm present. It could be, and then if I'm not looking at the coach, it could be the parent. So again, see it's a lot where a player will make an error and then dad or mum, whoever is on the balcony doing shadow swings, finish over your shoulder. Again, but that's another sign of judgment. So the player feels every time they make mistakes, they're being judged. They're being told that they're not good enough, that they need to improve. And for me, one of my favourite quotes is, you're not born with a fear of spiders. That's sort of, your environment creates that fear. So if your players are or do have a fear of failure, the first person you look at is you. Is the player comfortable enough to make mistakes? Are they comfortable enough, and do they understand the reality of tennis where they've got to find solutions by making mistakes? And if it's not you, the coach, is the parents. And the last person I look at is the player, because the player is going to be heavily influenced by those two people, the player and the coach. So if your players do have a fear of failure, look at yourself, look at the parents, and then if you still can't see the problem, maybe speak to the player. And if you say to the player, why are you not taking risks, or why are you playing safe? And if they give you, well, I'm scared of losing. Okay, why? Why are you scared of losing? What's going to happen if you lose? And then work through it that way. But I guarantee you probably wouldn't get that far, because the problem is the expectation of the coach or the expectation of the parents rather than the player themselves. So there we have it. Do we as coaches create a fear of failure in our players? As always, let me know down in the comments what you think. If you enjoy these videos, also hit the like button and subscribe. And until tomorrow's video, I'll see you soon.